Namaskar. Welcome in this lecture series on software engineering fundamentals. This is Dr. Bright Keswani, professor in computer science and engineering department in Suresh Ganwar University, Jaipur. In today's lecture, we will discuss about software project management. This is the another lecture, uh, uh, or you can say the remaining lecture of software project management. First of all, we have to discuss about the learning objectives and learning outcomes of this lecture. Uh, Development of software project is a critical and crucial activity, as you all know, which requires full concentration on the activities during development. And software project management is one of the activity which aim to monitor and control over development activities. So, through this lecture, you will learn that what is project tracking and management and why project management is needed. This is our learning objective. The expected learning outcomes are after the completion of this lecture, you will be able to understand about the aim and objectives of project management and about related activities and various associated techniques also. Let us discuss the agenda of this lecture. The agenda of this lecture is to first agenda is to uh, gain knowledge about the software project tracking, why the tracking software project tracking is important. Secondly, software project organization. Third is software project team management. Fourth is software project team organization, how to organize the software team, project team. And last, we will discuss about the principles of modern software management. Let us discuss all one by one. First is software project tracking. Let us discuss about the software project tracking. We will discuss about the goals of software project tracking and software project tracking activities. So the purpose of software project tracking is to provide uh, visibility into actual progress so that management can take effective actions when the software project performance significantly reduced or not as per the proposed plan. So, software project tracking involves tracking and reviewing. There are two things: tracking and reviewing. Reviewing what? Reviewing the software accomplishments and results against documented estimates, documented comments and commitments and plans. Okay, and we have to ensure through the tracking, we have to ensure the uh, actual accomplishment and actual results what we gain through the software. Okay, let us discuss about the goals of software project tracking. The first goal is actual results and performance are tracked against the software plans, and corrective actions are taken and managed to closer when actual results and performance deactivate significantly from the software plan. And the second goal is the affected groups and individual agree to change to software commitments. These are two goals of software project tracking. The main goal of software project tracking is to provide quality software. It is to produce the quality software, which is the aim of major aim of, yeah, you can say main aim of software engineering. Let us discuss about the software project tracking activities. There are number of tracking activities. First is a documented software development plan is used for tracking for software activities and communicating status also. Secondly, the project software development plan is revised according to documented procedure. And thirdly, software project commitments and changes to commitment made to individuals and groups external to the organization are reviewed and senior management according to a documented procedure. So it it is used to the through the tracking activity. You can not only the monitor the project in each of and every cycle of every phase of SDLC. You can document, you can check the, you can track the documentation process also, and approved changes to commitments that affect the software project are communicated to the member of the software engineering group and other software related groups. This is the another activity of software tracking. The size of software work products is tracked, and corrective actions are taken if necessary. The corrective actions should be taken, and the project software efforts and costs are tracked also, and corrective actions are taken if necessary. So, what is done through the software project tracking? The size is calculated, the size, the length or size of the software is tracked properly, and if some corrective actions suggested, then if necessary it is taken by the development team. And if the effort and cost is increasing, when we find the software cost and the schedule is or efforts are increasing, then we can, through the tracking activity, we can reduce the, or we can maintain the software development cost. Okay, schedule is also tracked, and if it is uh, beyond our expectation, or uh, some kind of uh, other activities we are looking, we are found in the software development, then we corrective actions to be suggested to the team. The software risk associated with cost, resource, schedule, and technical aspects of the project. So these all aspects are to be tracked: cost, resources, schedule, and all technical aspects of the project should be uh, tracked. And actual measurements data and replanning data for the software projects are recorded. Uh, uh, all results of this tracking activity should be recorded properly. The software engineering group conducts periodic internal reviews to track technical progress, to track the plans, to track the performance and issues against the software development plan. The lastly, formal reviews to address the accomplishment and results of the software projects are conducted at selected project milestones according to a documented procedure. So, in the first step, we are documenting all the requirements of end user, and during the uh, tracking activity, project tracking activity, we are tracking all the milestones as per if they are working or not as per the documented procedure or mentioned in the document. Okay, so tracking is very important. Software project tracking is important. It is important to reduce the cost of the software development. It is important to reduce the schedule of the uh, software development and proper utilization of resources. Let us discuss about the software project organization, the second agenda of this lecture. Software project organization. This is a hierarchical project organization where you can see the project manager is the part of core team, and his team members are uh, functional, operational members, technical members, system administrator, and training related professionals. Okay, and some supporting, one supporting team is also there. So you can say that there are two types of teams in you can see in this figure. First is a core team, which is taking the decision for major decisions, and the supporting team will provide the support to the uh, uh, core team. So for a long time, the organization of software projects oriented itself to the hierarchical organization common to other industrial branches. So, some important aspects you can see in this figure. A hierarchical structure is very much important. A responsible leader is assigned to each of the phase, which are lead and controlled by the project leader, and which, depending on the size of the project, are lead and controlled either by a single person or by a group leader. So the project manager normally also has a project management staff with advisory and administrative staff. Okay, so there are two types of staffs: technical staff and administrative staff, system administrator, and functional operation and operational staff and training related staff. The larger the project, the greater is the number of hierarchy levels in the organizational schema. So you uh, the hierarchical schema will increase if the size of the project, software project, is very high or very large. Okay, the project manager's task and responsibilities are uh, very huge. Uh, His responsibilities includes the selection of staff, assignment and management, planning of the division of labor for the project, and project progress checks. The last one is responsibility is to take appropriate measures in case of cost and schedule overruns. So we can say that overall responsibility of the software project is on the shoulder of project manager. Okay, the project management staff includes staff who advise the project manager in task specific questions and who provides support in administrative task concerning project progress checks, and who prepare project standards, who provide the necessary resources and carry out training for project team members as per the need. So you can see in the illustration there are technical staff is there, system administrator is there, training professionals are there, and functional and operational staff is there. These all are the members of core team, and they will provide support to the project manager whenever needed. Uh, Now discuss about the software project team management. A project is a group of tasks that need to complete to reach a clear result. A project also defines as a set of inputs and outputs which are required to achieve a goal. Projects can vary from simple to difficult and can be operated by one person or 100%, 100 professionals. So projects usually describes and approved by a project manager or team executives. They go beyond their expectations and objects, and it's up to the team to handle logistics and complete the project on time. For good project development, some teams split the project into specific tasks so they can manage responsibility and utilize team strength. Software project management in this direction is an art and discipline of planning and supervising software projects. It is a sub-discipline of software project management in which software project planned, software project implemented, monitored, and controlled. We can say it is a procedure of managing, allocating, and timing resources to develop computer softwares that fulfill requirements. In software project management, the client and the developers need to know the length, period, and the cost of the project. So we can say here in this illustration, we can see the project software project team management tasks. There are various because project team management is a difficult task, and it involves various activities like team building, like task coordination, and code quality assessment, and performance monitoring and assessment. So these are the major activities, or you can say the project software project team management tasks. Team building concerned with the best structure of a team depends on its size and the kind of project, because every you cannot build a team, uh, the same team for each and every project. It is depends on the nature of the project. So team members are chosen according to their technical and professional skills, and project goals must be communicated clearly to all members. And this is the task of software project management, to communicate the goals clearly to the all team members. Then task coordination is the other uh, software project team management task. Large teams are difficult to coordinate because the amount of communication between members increases exponentially with size. The nature of the project, working environment, and human factors must be taken into account, and usually some kind of structure is adopted in task coordination. The next uh, task is performance monitoring and assessing. In theory, the productivity of each team member should be measured in terms of the functionality they deliver, and in practice, this is very difficult. So, some organizations measure a person's productivity in terms of the number of code lines they generated per month. Okay, and this is a very bad way to measure performance, because if someone is not performing, someone delivering or someone generating the uh, suppose 10,000 lines in 1 month, and the next month he is due to some changes, environmental changes or health problem, he will generate only 7,000 lines, then what will you predict? What will you say about that person? So this is not the proper performance criteria for performance evaluation, but there should be some performance evaluation criteria. So it is the to adopt the best performance criteria to monitor and assess the performance of individual is to be done, to be adopted by the software project team. Okay, and last one is cost quality assessment. So it is the responsibility of software project software manager or project manager to assess the ensure the quality of the code. And this activity involves ensuring code quality uh, and assess it through the assessment. And individual developers are not the best people to assess the quality of their own code, because they have some biased view about their own code written by them. Okay, so individual developers are not the best people to assess the quality of their own code. Someone who works independently can usually make a more objective assessment. So if you want to assess your code, if you want to increase the quality of your code, you can uh, assess the quality of code through some individual. Okay, now we will discuss about the software project team organization. There are several types of organization team, project team organizations suggested by Bohem. First is hierarchical team organization. Chief programmers team organization is there. egoless team organization is there, matrix team organization is there, democratic team organization is there. So let us discuss all teams one by one. First is hierarchical team organization. Hierarchical team organization we will we have seen in our previous uh, this type of uh, team. You can see this team as hierarchical team organization. Okay. And project manager in this type of team organization is called as hierarchical team organization, where project manager has selected the core team members and rest of the team members as a supporting staff. Okay, supporting members. So this is the general idea about hierarchical team organization. In hierarchical team organization, the people are organized at different levels following a tree structure. Okay, and one such organization team is uh, illustrated here. Okay, you can see it here. It is a tree type of team structure, which is called as hierarchical team organization. Hierarchical reduces communication overheads, and coordination mechanism may vary between sub teams. And people at bottom level generally possess most detailed knowledge about the system because they are the operational staff. At people at a higher level generally have broader appreciation of whole project, and it is better to maintain people at the level where they perform well and reward them accordingly. Team leader perform some tasks like assign tasks to others, and it attends reviews and walkthroughs. It detects problem areas, and it make balance between workload among the people, and it participates in technical activities. So the major activity performs major responsibility on the shoulder of team leader. There are some benefits and some limitations of such type of hierarchical team organization also. So first of all, we will discuss about the benefits of hierarchical team structure. uh, uh, the hierarchical team structure limits the number of communication paths that still allow for the needed communication, and so it provides the communication which is necessary between the modules otherwise, or team members, otherwise it will not support the many number of or huge number of communication paths. Okay. Hierarchy can be expanded over multiple levels in this hierarchical team organization, and hierarchical structure is particularly well suited to the development of hierarchical software products. Okay, so uh, in the large project, we can have many technical levels and many type of management levels as per the uh, sensitiveness of the project. It depends on the sensitiveness of the uh, project. So these are the benefits of hierarchical team structure, that you can increase the team or decrease the team as per the requirement. Some limitations are also there because information can become distorted as it travels up the levels, especially if their immediate manager is assessing a team manager's performance or team member's performance. So it is a major drawback, or you can say the limitation of hierarchical team organization. Sometimes biasness is also there. Their level in hierarchy often judges people, especially, and people socially and financially. So there are some major drawbacks of this hierarchical method. uh, a good programmer is lost maybe in this. type of hierarchical team organization. Okay, so let us discuss about the chief programmers team. Second is chief programmers team organization. Uh, this is the illustration about chief programmers team organization. This team organization is comprises of a small team consisting of chief programmer, librarian programmers, and backup programmers or program consultants. So there are uh, some people associated with chief programmers team, the chief programmer himself, the project assistant, the project secretary, or we can say the project librarian is there, and specialist. Specialist means language specialist, programmers, and test specialist. So responsibilities and qualifications of chief programmer team organizations uh, uh, are that the chief programmer is actively involved in the planning, specification, and design process, and ideally in the implementation process as well. Uh, the chief programmer controls project progress, decides all important questions, and assume overall responsibility. The qualification of the chief programmer need to be according accordingly high. So, uh, uh, what the chief programmer do? The chief programmer is responsible for the planning, responsible for the execution of the and progress and growth of the project. Okay, project assistant is the closest technical co-worker of the chief programmer, and the project assistant supports the chief programmer in all important activities and serves as the chief programmer's representative in the in the absence of his absence of the chief programmer. And this team members qualification need to be as high as those of the chief programmer. So sometimes when the chief programmer is absent, the uh, project assistant will act as a uh, technical co-worker or as a chief programmer. Okay, the project secretary uh, relieves the chief programmer and all other programmers of administrative tasks. The project secretary administrates all programs and documents and assists in project progress checks. The main task of the project secretary is the administration of the project library. Okay, so it is very much important that uh, uh, project secretary should be there. Some specialists are also there. They are responsible for you can say language in languages, in programming, or in testing. So project administrator should be there, documentation editor may be there, language or system expert may be there, tester may be there, and supporting programmers may be there. Now come to the advantages of chief programmer team and disadvantages of chief programmer team. Uh, the major advantage of chief programmer team is the centralized decision making, because many of the projects are suffering from the proper decision. So in through the adoption of this type of team, the centralized decision making is there, a reduced communication part, it will reduce the communication paths. Experiments suggest that chief programmer teams are approximately twice as reproductive as non chief programmer teams. So they are very much productive and they are very much efficient because central point is a single. The chief programmer is directly involved in system development and can better exercise the control functions. Reporting concerning project process is institutionalized, and small teams are generally more productive than large teams. So these all are advantages of chief programmer team. Some disadvantages are also there, because uh, it is a psychological problem that chief programmer is the king, and it takes all the credits, and all the credit of the work done by the librarian programmers or other supporting staff. And effectiveness of team is very sensitive to chief programmers technical and managerial abilities. It depends on the effectiveness of the chief programmer. Project survival is dependent on one individual, because all decisions taken by the chief programmer only, and this team organization is limited to small teams only, and a small team cannot handle every project. So there are some major disadvantages also of such type of teams. Okay, let us discuss about the metrics team organization. Metrics team organization, and uh, in this type of team organizations, people are divided into specialized groups, and each group has a manager. So, in you can say in project one, project team uh, is divided into several groups, and each project has several projects. Project team is divided into several groups, and each project has a manager, uh, who is the main person of the team. So matrix team is the combination of several groups. Okay, and the groups are working in different projects. So it makes a matrix of skills. It makes a matrix of people of similar skills or different skills. Let us discuss about the egoless team organization. And this type of team organization is sort of uh, uh, special idea, because egoless means there is no ego between team members. So this is the simple example of egoless team. This is the simple structure of egoless team, where every programmer is connected with other each other, and they will communicate their information to each other, and they have no ego, and this type of team is a very effective team. But uh, uh, because the basic phenomena why it is so effective, because uh, um, everyone is having opportunity to act as a chief programmer at once. Okay, so if the opportunity given to each and every member of the team, they will cooperate with each other. Okay, so the egoless and supportive programmer environment replaces the harsh authorization lines of the conventional team. Okay, and in this type of team organization, goals are set and decisions are made by group consequences, and the group leadership rotates based on tasks to be performed and different abilities of the members. So the when the leadership rotates among the all members, they are very much supporting. They are supporting to each other, and there is a major risk of such type of organization if teams are composed of inexperienced or incompetent members. Then it will be a major hurdle in the progress of the software development. Now we will discuss about the democratic team organization. Democratic team organization. This team organization is similar to egoless team organization, but one member is the team leader, may rotate, but the particular responsibility he has pursue that, the coordination related responsibility he is possess, and final decision when some uh, grievance or some misunderstanding uh, occurred in the project. Some disadvantages are also of democratic team organization, that each member can contribute to decisions and member can learn from each other. Sorry, these are the advantages, that each member can contribute to decisions and members can learn from each other, and they improve their knowledge, and they have the job satisfaction. So these are the advantages of democratic team organization. Some disadvantages are also there of democratic team organization, like communication overhead increases through the adoption of such type of organization. uh, there is a need of experts all members should be in skilled, they possess the technical skill, okay, and less individual responsibilities and authorities given in the democratic team. Every member have less responsibility and authority, because authority and responsibility is divided into all the members of the team. There is a major risk with such organization. If teams are composed of inexperienced or incompetent members, then it will be a major risk. Okay, so these are the software project team organizations. There are, we can say, five types of team organizations. First is hierarchical team organization is there, a chief programmers or team organization, egoless team organization, matrix team organization, and democratic team organizations. This is the illustration about the democratic team. Now come to the next part, that is principles of modern software management. So before discuss the principles of modern software management, we 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 uh, uh, we will discuss about the general principles for good team organizations. Okay, so we have discussed about various types of team organizations. uh, some general principles are there. You can follow these principles so that you can make a good team. You can select the team organization for your project, because it is vary from project to project. The first principle, that use fewer and better people. You should use less people and skilled people. Try to fit tasks to the capabilities and motivations of the people available. So you have to assign appropriate task to appropriate person. Okay. Otherwise, a hurdle will occur. In the long run, an organization is better off it if it helps people to get the most out of themselves. Too much specialization can make people indispensable in the short term and uh, discard in the long term. So, too much specialization makes some ego. So, don't recruit staff as per your requirement. Okay, aim to build a balanced and harmonious team. A balanced team should be there. If someone doesn't fit in the team, remove him from the team and make the team a simple team. Okay. Now come to the next point, that is principles of modern software management. So principles of modern software management is based on some um, uh, these are some principles. Like first, base the process on an architecture first approach. This requires that a demonstrable balance be achieved among the uh, deriving requirements, the architecturally significant design decisions, and the life cycle plans before the resources are committed for full scale development. So, base the first principle is base the process on an architecture first approach. The second principle is establish an interactive life cycle process that confront risk early. So, uh, in today's sophisticated software system, it is not possible to define the entire problem, design the entire solution, build the software, then test the end product in sequence. Instead, an iterative process that refines the problem understanding and effective technique we should adopt. Okay, effective solution, effective plan we should adopt. Then, third, transaction design methods to emphasize component based development. So, you should always uh, support the transaction design method to emphasize the component based development, because it is easy to manage components or units of the software, and the decomposition provides the simplicity to your project. The next principle is establish a change management environment. So you can always adopt the you can always ready to adopt the changing requirement of your of user. Okay, because user requirements are changed as per the uh, change in the uh, environment. So establish a change management environment, then enhance change freedom through tools that support round trip engineering. Means what? There are several tools supported by software engineering. Tools are useful to make the software project uh, a quality project. So uh, you should provide a freedom to your staff or your team members to use the appropriate tool of software engineering. Capture design artifacts in rigorous model based notation. So there are so many types of designing methods. So UML is there, model based approach. UML is there. UML supports the evolution of uh, semantically rich graphical and textual design notations, and visual modeling with rigorous notations and formal machine processable languages provides for uh, more objective measures. So you can take the help of UML and other designing notations. The next principle is instrument the process for objective quality control and progress assessment. So life cycle assessment of the progress and the quality of all intermediate products must be integrated into the process. And the best assessment mechanisms are well defined measures derived directly from the evaluating engineering artifact and integrated into all activities and teams. So, follow these all principles of modern software management. The use a demonstration based approach to access intermediate artifacts. So uh, if you want to uh, have a quality product, use it, use the demonstration based approach, adopt the demonstration based approach to access the intermediate artifact, so that user can you can use the prototyping also. Prototyping approach, you will work on the prototyping model so that you can easily get the best results. Okay, so uh, next is plan intermediate releases or groups of uses scenario, releases in groups of user scenario with evolving levels of details. So it is essential that the software management processes derive towards early and continuous demonstrations within the operational context of the system, and the evolution of project increments and generations must be uh, uh, start with the current level of understanding of the requirement and the architecture. Okay, and last principle is establish a configurable process that is economically scalable. So no single process is suitable for the software development. uh, you can adopt a framework which is very much suitable as per the economics of the project, as per the common spirit of the project, or common idea and common view of the project. You can establish a configurable process that is economical, scalable, and scalable, economically scalable. Okay, so these are some principles of modern software management. This is all about from myself, uh, from my side. Uh, Now this is the time for assessment through multiple choice questions. The first question is, which of the following is not project management goal? The first one is keeping overall cost within budget. Second is delivering the software to the customers at the agreed time. Third is maintaining a happy and functioning development team. And fourth is avoiding customer complaints. So avoiding customer complaints is the best, is the right answer. Project managers have to assess the risk that may affect a project. Is it true or false? It is false. Which of the following is not considerable as a risk project in a project management? So, specialization delays, product competition, testing, or self staff turnover. Which is the right answer? Testing is the right answer. The process each manager follow during the life of a project known as project management or management manager life cycle or project management life cycle, or all of the mentioned. The correct answer is C, project management life cycle. Quality planning is the process of developing a quality plan for A option is team, B option is project, C option is customer, and D option is project manager. The answer is project. Identify the sub-process of process improvement. The four objectives are process introduction, process analysis, D process specification, and process distribution. The right answer is process analysis. An independent relationship must exist between the attributes that can be measured and the external quality attributes. The answer is false. B. B is the statement is false. Different activities of a project major project management is: first is project planning, project monitoring, project control, and all of the above. The answer is all of the above, because all are the project management activities. Project planning is there, project monitoring is there, project control is there. Which of the following activity is undertaken immediately after feasibility study and before the requirement analysis and specification phase. Project planning, project monitoring, project control, or project scheduling. Four options available, and the right answer is project planning. The last question is that this activity is undertaken once the development activities starts. Which activity? The four options given as project planning, project monitoring and control, project size estimation, or project cost estimation. The project cost estimation activity is undertaken once the development activities start. So the D is the last D is the right answer of this question. Okay, and so these are the some reference books you can consult if any query is there. You can consult all these books, and you find. Hope you will find the answer of your query from here. Okay, so I hope this lecture provided you a clear cut understanding about the topic which I selected uh, for today. Uh, okay, have a good day. Uh, Thank you.